Hello and welcome. I just wanted to talk today about something that we brought to development group this week. So I was lying in bed, just sort of drifting off to sleep the night before, and I set the intention to say, "Hey, what do we need to bring? What are we talking about?" And I don't know if anyone's watched the film Labyrinth. I should hope you have. But the red monstery guys that take off their heads popped into my mind as I was drifting off to sleep. I was like, right, okie dokie, thank you very much, Spirit. Cheers for the message of whatever you're trying to tell me. But it started me thinking about Labyrinth. It started me thinking about the idea of what a labyrinth actually is and what it symbolizes, the difference between a labyrinth and a maze. And yeah, it just started this whole sort of like thing in my brain. I thought, right, I'm gonna bring that to group, and we're gonna chat about it, and we're gonna see what unfolds. And so I wanted to share with you some of the sort of thoughts and the things that came up. Labyrinth in itself is a representation of your journey, a path and a journey that goes, all the way in, and you can literally follow it round. And sometimes it will feel like you're nearly there, you're nearly at the center, you're nearly at the point that you're supposed to be at, and then you can find yourself in life winding back away, and it feels like you're getting further and further from the point, from yourself, of our spiritual journey. You can be traveling along this path, and if you think about it in the way of life, you're traveling along and you come across twists and turns and obstacles and roadblocks, but ultimately you're always heading the right direction. You're always working towards that goal of life, of living. The idea that I sensed for the sort of center of the labyrinth is the actually finding self, like coming to self realization, self reflection, self love, realizing that it all starts and ends with you. Then I was reflecting on the fact that there are also, when I was searching for pictures of mazes, there is also the other version like this. So it's round. It came under the word labyrinth when I was searching for labyrinth. But for me, this is a maze. This isn't a labyrinth that is one sort of path that means that you can just travel where you need to travel and you cannot go wrong. This feels a little bit like a trick. This feels a little bit like there is um, twists and turns and dead ends. And, if the goal is to get to the center, is for whatever reason, whatever that is, the journey of your life is to get to the center, then it feels like it's hard work with the other one, with the maze, that it's there set out to trick you. It's there to confuse you. It's there to, cause you those moments where, if you liken it to, your life, they are the bits that you go on a path and you realize it's not yours. And to me, the maze was feeling like then you'd have to turn around and go back, and you could never find the middle. You probably will, but it will take a long time. Whereas the one that is the labyrinth, that is just laid out, and that if you just keep moving forwards, you are going to get there. And yes, there could be things and lessons. There will be things and lessons on each part of the journey. On each corner and turn, there will be something else. Sometimes you'll feel you're really, really close to the piece. You're like, yes, I've learned all my lessons, I've done it. And then you'll find yourself coming further and further away from what you thought you were getting towards, and you'll feel fed up and frustrated, but at least you're moving forwards, right? And so, in comparison, when we were talking about it in group, one of the lovely ladies really reflected on the fact that, yes, it feels quite calming to look at the maze, that we gazed upon them both and sort of thought, how do we feel? How do they make us feel? And yes, the maze is, calming, and it's quite clean and flowing. But the other one kind of looked a bit exciting. Like, there's something about it, right? There's something in there that is going, yeah, but we could go this way, we could go that way. Who knows what we're going to find? There was something more exciting about it. And I guess it kind of speaks to the human path. It is all laid out, but sometimes we're going to want to go off piece. We're going to want to not just follow the path, follow the lines. We're going to want to go and find the dead ends, the adventures at the end of each corner that doesn't lead us anywhere. And we're going to go back and we're going to feel frustrated about the fact that, I've just been along here and it wasn't that way. Dead end. But have you ever been to like a hedge maze? There is one in, where is it? Simmons Yat, that is amazing. The fun and the joy that you have running around a maze, you can hear people shouting from the other side. You're going past each other. You're like, oh no, it's a dead end. Turn around, go back. It really helps with that inner child. It makes me think of the inner child that is out and yeah, playing, enjoying, being on the journey, being on life. So ultimately, what I was thinking at the beginning of session was, yes, it's the labyrinth and it's the flowing, it's the journey, it's being knowing and trusting that you're always there, you're always heading towards the center. And then actually at the end of it, we're looking at the crazy chaotic mazes and going, yeah, but it's kind of fun, right? Like it's kind of fun. It might feel exhausting, but as long as you don't physically go back, as long as you don't physically leave the maze, as long as you don't walk out and go, you know what, I'm out, I'm not doing it anymore, you're always going to be playing the game. You're always going to be part of life. You're going to be experiencing, you're going to be having those, yes, ups and downs, but you're living. And so I think that's what it sort of spoke to. The astrology at the minute is the Gemini supermoon that was last night and today. And a lot of the stuff I was reading was about the fact that it is an opportunity to choose which path do you want to go on, which reality are you choosing. And that is actually why when I printed these, I printed it so you've got one on one side and then one on the other. Because I really felt like there was something in that, like there's a piece, there's something trying to come into my awareness, trying to bring to group, trying to bring to you guys that we can feel into, we can think about, we can reflect on it, we can meditate on it, and yeah, just really tune into our own journey and what path we're choosing. And no matter which one, we've chosen it, and I think we can flip and change at all the times. Sometimes we can be more flow, sometimes we can be more play, sometimes we can be completely fed up and just sitting in a corner, rocking in a dead end, going, I can't do it anymore. But ultimately, we have to keep going. We're still here. We have to try and believe there is something, someone, some part looking over that is encouraging us and calling us on and saying, you can do this, just keep going. Like, what is in the middle of that maze? What are the dreams? What are you working towards? What lights that sort of spark in your heart, in your soul? Where do you want to go? What do you want for your life? Do you want to just completely flow and just have a break and surrender and trust that you're being guided always and you can just follow the path? Do you want to perhaps break free from a path that has been shared to you and actually it doesn't resonate for you? You want a bit of adventure, you want to do something different to what everyone else is telling you to do, then that's okay too. Ultimately, it feels to me like this whole piece, this whole bit of information that has been brought to me, this conversation, is all about slowing down, taking a breath, and just feeling inwards, feeling into our own inner knowing about where we want to go, what we want to do, what we're here to do, and then just really seeing how we can make the most out of it. And I understand that life is hard. I understand that this time of year, Christmas, can be really, really tough. It is not the jolly, happy experience for everyone. I've been reflecting on the fact that last year for me, I really struggled. I was incredibly depressed. I was incredibly struggling so much financially, emotionally, like physically, all of it. I was just in such a dark place. And I kept it going, and I showed up in my life doing what I could do, but I definitely felt like I was frozen. I was stopped in one of those dead ends. And so if you are going through that, know that that's okay. And this too shall pass. I understand that sometimes we want it to pass right now, but it does. And so if you can focus inwards, if we can, work towards the center, which is us and our hearts and our desires, dreams, experiences, everything we want for our life, that's where the spark is. That's where you find that spark to go on. So all in all, let's choose to give ourselves love so that we can give love out to others, and know that no matter what path we're on, whether it's a labyrinth or a maze, that ultimately the goal is the same: to see ourselves, know ourselves, and love ourselves. Big love.